Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's action figure showcase, we're going to take a look at all of my Mick Foley figures. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I am taking a look at all of my Mick Foley figures, which I think I said I wanted to do that when I unboxed the new Ultimate Edition. I've wanted to do this for a while because I've picked up a bunch of his figures for a long time. I had just about everyone I wanted, and then they came out with the ringside pack. Just a bunch of new Mick Foley figures with the new emphasis on the Attitude Era, which I love. For the most part, I've been pretty happy with them, but I wanted to go ahead and start with my two least favorite versions. So this one here is the WrestleMania Heritage. Can't remember which WrestleMania it was, a few years ago now, but this is based off of his match with Edge. I think it was at WrestleMania 22, the street fight, and I 100% knew what they were going for. I'm gonna try and find a good picture so I can show you guys. His hair was wet. It was kind of like down in his face, and I said, I totally see what Mattel was going for. I just think it was executed extremely bad. His formula is fine. The head sculpt it's not right. Something just didn't translate well. I don't know if it's the face itself or if the hair just wasn't done right. It looks terrifying. Honestly, looking at it through the camera lens here, I feel like it looks a little better than I'm giving it credit for. But if you go back, if I can't find a picture, WrestleMania 22 when he fought Edge, I think I'm pretty sure that's where this one is from. It's either Edge. I don't think it was when he fought against Evolution. But totally get the look, just poor execution. Everything else I think is fine. The arms, I always wanted a little bigger on Mick Foley. It's the same kind of formula with the pants and everything. And from neck down, great Mick Foley figure, but that head sculpt just did not hit the spot for me. All right, so this one, I dislike for a completely different reason. I think it looks great. When Mick Foley had his weird run as, I think it was general manager of Raw, while Stephanie McMahon was the general manager of SmackDown, he wore a suit coat, but he wore a t-shirt and sweatpants. Fine, I have no issue with the part choices here. It's just that his ankles don't move. So I have to stand him up, I have to bend him over. And that's not functional for whether I'm posing him or not. It's just not you can't do that with an action figure. It looks ridiculous. Looks like he's leaning over because he has to fart. But the head sculpt is great. I think it's a very good looking older general manager, whatever you want, Santa, Mick Foley. And the parts, like I said, don't bother me. It came from a basic 2-pack. I can't remember if he was with Stephanie in that 2-pack, but I think it's a fine looking figure. It's just the legs, which are the basic pinless legs, are god awful. So I had to knock off some points there. Next up is the SummerSlam Elite Wave Mick Foley, and this was a little bit of a repaint from I think it was the normal Elite line that we got this in. The original version just had the normal black tie or blue tie, I want to say. This one has the WWE logo on it. And this this head sculpt does have the removable mask on it, which we got the removable mask as well with the Ultimate Edition, but it didn't fit on any of the heads we got, which I thought was an odd choice. The head sculpt without the mask looks pretty good. The hair looks kind of weird because it obviously has to, I'll just bring it up here. It has to fit in there. But overall, I think it's a good sculpt. I really liked this for quite a while until we got some newer stuff with Mick Foley. And then I don't remember if this Socko even came with it, but I threw it on there. I used to have my world champion, the Attitude Era World Championship posed on him, or WWE Championship, whatever. But I moved that over to my Ultimate Edition, which I'll get to. But again, this is just kind of the Mick Foley formula that we typically get. He's got the sweatpants look. I do like that he has the molded sleeves like that. I think it looks pretty good. I don't think they've really, they use it for like the Singh Brothers 2-pack with the shirt rolled up like that. But they've given us some different looks. So I think this is a great representation of this version of Foley. Next up is the ringside exclusive defining moments, Mankind, Mick Foley. This one I think is fantastic. I love that they did quite a lot of things differently with the figure. Obviously, this one's got the brown tights and the black boots instead of the sweatpants. The head sculpt is a lot different. So this one, like, it has his ponytail in there in the back. The hair is big and fluffy. Like, I feel like that captures him really well. The tie that's molded on is like hanging to the side instead of just down in front. Like, he's got that kind of disheveled look. Obviously, this is like a post-match Mick Foley 2. The sleeve on his left arm is ripped. We are missing, originally, we were missing the tape that was on his wrists, and I just went and threw some on there. It's just some like hockey tape, I think, to give him the wrist tape, which, like, small things like that I talk about with Jazzwares too. When that's left off, it annoys me. Like, they go through all this effort giving us really nice sleeve sculpts, the head sculpt and everything, and I can't imagine like they just don't have any more room in the budget to just paint white tape on. But I don't know. I customize my stuff, so I can get over it sometimes, but I can see like a lot of people had an issue with that. Like, especially like in-box collectors. On the back, he's got the like thumbtacks molded on, and overall, like, I think this is an awesome figure. I talked in my review of the Ultimate Edition how I like that they find ways to change up his figures instead of just repeating the same things, giving us things that are a little bit different, and they really do that with the sleeves here. And then, of course, this head sculpt specifically has the bloody mouth, and it has the tooth in his nose, which is awesome. I think like they captured that moment. Like, that's a legitimate defining moment of Mick Foley, or Mankind, whatever you like to refer to him as at that point, and an awesome figure in general. Next up is the relatively recent Commissioner Foley that we got, and I saw a lot of people make customs of this. The one issue I kind of have with this is the torso. So they gave him the normal torso they use, but normally he's got a shirt that covers it, and instead of giving him like with the WrestleMania Foley, they gave him like the sleeveless rubber shirt underneath. They just painted Commissioner on his torso, which is kind of lazy. Especially with the cloth goods, they could have easily just put a rubber shirt on that said Commissioner. Again, like, I know I'm not here to talk about how they manage the budget of an Elite line, but that is one thing that did kind of bother me. The accessories, though, I thought were really nice. It comes with the flannel he has on, which is different from other ones we've gotten. It's obviously a cloth goods one. This hand right here that's holding the gavel's molded in there. He comes with the thumbs up. He came with his like office plant, like some office stuff that he had for his commissioner desk, which I have in a box somewhere. But outside of like the shirt thing, I thought it was a really nice figure. And of course, it's a like niche moment for Mick Foley, but it's way different than other figures I've just shown so far. So it was cool to get this. The head sculpt too, I think, is really nice. It was probably like the easiest one they've had. He just had like the buzzed haircut, and they typically capture his face likeness pretty well. So another great figure. I think I picked this one up at retail. Just kind of sat for a while, and like I said, it's a niche version of Mick Foley as the Commissioner, so it didn't shock me that it didn't fly off shelves. But if you're a fan of Mick Foley or the Attitude Era, I think it's a great figure and absolutely one that you should add to the collection. Next up is Cactus Jack, WWE's version or look of Cactus Jack here, and this was one of the original Mick Foley figures that I had. I did put the cloth goods shirt on him, so I don't even remember. Now I have to look. I don't remember if they painted this torso or what the deal was. Nope. I have no clue. He must have come with a different shirt, but I don't remember why I have this on here. Anyway, that's how I've had it posed for a long time. We did get Cactus Jack from Ringside Collectibles, which I have. I'll take a peek at. And that one was the WCW version, so it looked different, but this one is quintessent. Like, you absolutely need this look of Cactus Jack for your Attitude Era collection, which I could see us... Oh, let me get this back over here. My shirt's messed up. There we go. Okay. So he had plenty of feuds, big moments with this kind of look in WWE. He wrestled plenty of times as Cactus Jack. I would really like if we got this Cactus Jack in the Legends line, and then they gave us like this head sculpt for the Attitude Era, and then gave us like a more ruthless aggression kind of look for when he was feuding, when he had his match with Randy Orton at Backlash. I think that would be awesome, especially with the upgraded arms, true effects. They've been making the new Mick Foleys on pinless ball joints instead of the ratchet joints, which has made the posability a lot better. But this would be, like, I think this would be a great candidate. Maybe like the greatest hits line or whatever, but if we could get just a redo of this look for Cactus Jack, I would love it. But even outside of that, I think this is a really good looking figure. And then here's the WCW Cactus Jack I was talking about, and I love this figure. I love the cloth goods shirt. They did a really good job on it. They stitched on like the pads on the shoulders and the collar instead of just screen printing it on there, which I thought was a really nice touch. It's big enough, and so there's plenty of movement. The arms, I've seen some people don't like these bigger arms, and I don't disagree. I like them more than the skinny arms because Mick Foley obviously didn't have really, like, he's a big guy. They haven't given us a mold for just like large, not defined arms. So I'm kind of like fingers crossed we see something like that at Comic-Con, but everything else about this figure I think is fantastic. I like that they got the knee pads on there. They changed up the head sculpt, so it still has, it still like captures that look, but I think they captured the yelling really well, especially like if compare these, like the quality is just way different. The WCW one here is fantastic. The WrestleMania one does have swappable hands, which I guess is a little added bonus to that figure, but that's what we get on everything now, so it's almost just like a prerequisite if a figure's going to be at the top of my list. But WCW Cactus Jack here, they knocked it out of the park. Next, we have probably my favorite Mick Foley figure is the new generation, early Attitude Era look of Mankind. And this one, I've said before in other videos, my first pack I ever had was the Buried Alive Bone Crunchers pack that had this look for Mankind. And I still have the Amazon exclusive version of him, which was like a weird figure to pick up. Like over 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure at this point. But it was this exact look. It had the correct boots with the like guards and straps on the front, which we did. I think we got another version of this that did not have they just had the plain black boots. Could be wrong. I'm pretty sure we got that in the Elite line. But this one, it had a new head sculpt. It got, I think this hand is new. The wrist gauntlets. The shirt is still the same, which the other two from Ringside had cloth goods, which I thought this was going to be as well, but I think they just budgeted differently with the head sculpt, the hands, the wrist gauntlets, and everything, which I didn't have an issue with. He's got the pinless legs, like I was talking about. I wasn't going to get all these Mick Foley figures because I had them essentially already. Guess I didn't technically have WCW Cactus Jack, but it wasn't like something I was really dying to add to the collection. And then I pulled the trigger, I got these, and I was really happy because I think the upgrades in quality, double jointed arms, true effects, everything was really, really nice. So if you were someone on the edge too, I think it's absolutely worth picking up. But like I said, this is probably my favorite Mick Foley figure. Next up is that Ringside Dude Love. And this figure is awesome. This is probably my favorite of that trio. Just as far as, not my favorite figure, but the upgrades, like the difference in quality from his Dude Love Elite to this ringside exclusive one. Obviously, I've talked about the pinless legs and everything, but the shirt, so the shirt we originally got was just the hard plastic one, and between the hard plastic shirt and the ratchet joints, it was so hard to move those legs. This one, again, came with more hands. The shirt is, besides cloth goods, it's bigger. It is, it looks great. The head sculpt is the same, I'm pretty sure, and the headband and everything sits on there much better. My glasses on the Elite that I had would always fall off, which was frustrating because they're just little black glasses and it's really easy to lose things. As a kid, I lost every single accessory that ever came with the figure. As an adult, I've been a fraction better. But this is a great upgrade for the Dude Love. I always talk about the true effects with facial hair always looks really good, and this was no exception. This was a great looking Mick Foley, and again, all three of the ringside exclusives are great upgrades, with the Cactus Jack being a little bit of like a first time as far as that looks. So if you're on the fence, those are the ones to grab for sure. And then to wrap things up is the most recent, like most people haven't even seen this in stores yet from what I've been seeing on Facebook and everything. But this Mankind in the Monday Night Wars line is awesome. Pinless legs, the drop down hips for him, I like. They work well, they function well. As far as like moving around, posing and everything. The way they did the shirt there's a white shirt underneath, and then like his shirt over the top is kind of like ripped up and tattered, from which if you go back and watch, like the whole like back of his shirt is like ripped all the way up his back. The big arms work on this one. The biceps are covered up so you don't see all that definition. The head sculpt is really nice. We did have a couple extra ones. We had a maskless one, and then we had one where he's sticking his tongue out. But this figure was awesome. I was really, really happy with it. Especially, like, I thought it looked good. I liked the cloth tie, but then even just moving it around, posing it, I was really happy with it as well. So that is it. I do want to get them all back on screens. You can kind of get them all as a whole, but Mick Foley collection complete. There they are. So there's my entire Mick Foley collection as of right now. I really didn't think that we had that many versions I would need. I wanted Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind. That's all I really cared about, and they keep coming up with new ways to give us Mick Foleys, and I keep coming up with new reasons I need to purchase them, which you can look at that as a pro or a con, really however your bank account is feeling on the day. So if you stuck around to the end of the video, thank you very much. I have a full list of showcase ideas I have ready. We have San Diego Comic-Con coming up. It is a great time of year to be a collector. I'm excited for everything, and hopefully I'll get a chance to make a reaction or talk about what we see in the coming weeks as far as figures. But if you made it to the end, thank you very much. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.